Odoo here in my LOC company, and you can see the expenses I've submitted. I've got a few different ones in here. I've got a few that I already have done a report for, and I've got some that I need to submit, and then I have some that are in two reports I need to make a report for them. So I'm going to go ahead and group by status, and then quickly you can see we have the done, to report, need to submit. So I'm going to focus on the to submit here because these are ones for a conference that I went to, and I had a per diem of snacks for the conference, and so I need to go ahead and submit the report for these ones here. So I can go into one of these ones here. You can see the receipt. I've already come in here, filled out the uh, amounts and dates as needed if the AI didn't catch anything, which it takes time. So some of these I did have to put in a good bit of information, even though typically the total and the date it does pretty good on. I'm going to click here and I can go to the report. And I see that I have these items in, and I could add or delete any of them that I would want to. You can see the expenses associated with this report. So I'm going to go ahead and submit to manager, and then hit approve. And I'm going to post the journal entries. And I just realized I made a mistake here. I should have that set to the credit card. And then I'm going to post the entries on the credit card because that's the card I used to pay for these. So it's listed as paid and manually paid because I paid for it at the moment in time. So now, coming into here, I can see the credit card has transactions to reconcile. And now we can go find some of those food ones in here. How about the Whole Foods one? So 1038. Let's slide this up. I think that might be one I actually didn't put in. How about the Dunkin's? There you go. Here's a Dunkin' one. So that's 534. And it is probably going to be that one right there. That seems like a pretty good match. We hit view if we want to and see what that is. Even jumping back to the expense report, if you wanted to drill in this deep, I think if you match on the price is probably going to be good enough most of the time, but you can come in here and you can see that it was a Dunkin's receipt. So jumping back, so I have the Dunkin's picked here. I'm just going to hit validate, and then now that goes away as uh, a validated one. How about the Sheets one? Do we have one for that? Don't see a Sheets one for that. We may have to track down some receipts for missing expenses in here. How about the taco? And I see, and you can see it's being smart about this one. It kind of put that taco one up at the top. It thinks that that's maybe a good option. It matches perfect on the price. And let's see here, this next one, 18. We may need a receipt for that one. How about this one? Nope. Let's see. Do we have a 2694? Here's a 2694. Right there. And then that's the 6th versus the 7th, so that makes sense. It probably posted the next day. So that one makes sense there. And let's see, we have an 893 in there. There's an 893 there. And then that's the 5th and the 6th, so again, posted the day after. Makes sense. And I see a 1435. Here's a 1435 right there. And the 6th versus the 5th, so that looks right. Validate. Alright, that's probably all the transactions we brought over. You can see how quickly it makes it to match up your transactions, and you can quickly get down to exactly what receipts you need to track down. Maybe you forgot a receipt or something, so then this makes it clear that if you've got something over here on the right, you probably have a missing receipt. You need to go find that and put it in place. Alright, that is how I reconcile transactions with my credit card in Odoo, and specifically for an event where I just had a bunch of different receipts. As I went, every time we'd get a receipt, I'd go ahead and snap a picture of it with my phone, email it to my expense email alias in Odoo. It'd come in as an expense, and then after just making sure the information on the expense was correct, I went ahead and created an expense report, and then over here in the bank account, I was able to reconcile those transactions rather quickly.